All right, welcome back to your beloved YouTube channel. Today we have 5 tips in helping you choose the right pedal board. Like, is this the right board? Temple Audio, Holy Board, Pedal Train. There's a million freaking boards out there. There's super high-end ones. There's custom built ones. You know, here's my 5 things that I would say, hey, and you're looking at a new pedal board or looking to get your first one, the actual board itself, this is how you choose it. Okay, so first up, how many pedals? First thing, how many pedals, and also size. How big are those pedals? Are all of them small pedals like this? Are they double pedals? Are they freaking huge pedals? I don't know. That's only you tell that, but yeah, size of the pedals, size of the board. So generally, how many pedals and the size of those pedals will dictate the board. I recommended this board for a client of mine. That's who I'm eventually building this for. You'll see the full build video coming sometime after this video. After we inspect everything, he calls me the next day after he had ordered it and said, oh, by the way, I want to add on a volume and a wah pedal because the volume pedal is his tuner and he has a wah pedal because he does leads. I had a feeling that he was going to at least add a wah pedal. Most guys do. So, all right, I got a board that was a little bit bigger than he needed because of that. I could have fit all this on a little bit smaller board, like no problem. But you add in those 2 giant things of a wah pedal and a freaking volume pedal, like that's this whole section right here, blank. The only reason they're not here and laid out on the board is because he has a gig tomorrow. Today is Friday. He has a gig on Saturday. I want to have this hopefully wired up and to him by then. Don't know if that's going to happen because there is a lot of work to be done because I want to film and bring you guys along with this. If I didn't have to film it, I could totally do it. Like, no problem. No big deal. But, okay, so size of board, how many pedals, how big are those freaking pedals, okay? That's first thing. Second, how are you going to power it? Is it going to be a simple little daisy chain? Daisy chain's easy. Small little 5-6 pedal board, boom, single row, whoosh, as long as they're not long, or you have a volume and wah pedal. If you have a volume and wah pedal you want to use, even if you have a whole bunch of other ones or these, get a longer board or just rock the wah and volume off to the side. I don't like doing that because sometimes you're on a stage that has carpet or has hardwood floors or it's slick. You don't want your wah pedal or volume pedal sliding around on stage just like you bring a drum rug for drums so the drums don't walk forward when you hit the kick pedal, okay? Same concept. Have it nailed down. Is it going to be power supplies that mount underneath? Is there no room underneath so you have to mount them on top? So is their power supply going to take up space where pedals would normally be on the top of the board? Like, that's stuff that you got to think about. Most people don't until they're in the middle of a build and be like, oh crap, this isn't going to work. And I spent all this time and money and get to a point where it's like, ugh, stand still. Third thing on the list is cost and benefits analysis to the pedal board. Like this, that does not come with a case or a bag or anything else like that. Is it worth saving the money when you have to buy a whole bunch of other accessories to make it work? Is the extras that you can get to make it more functional and easier for you to attach these, attach them down, is that an easier process? Does it save you time and therefore save you money in the long run? Especially if you're hiring a guy like me. Putting one of these boards together is generally a little bit cheaper for me to assemble because I don't have to Velcro everything. These little mounting plates, boom, done, super easy. Is it worth your time to put it together? Is it going to come pre-Velcroed and you only have to do your pedals? Like, how are you going to attach it? Is it zip ties? The Holy Board, it's all about zip ties. I'm going to do one of those next. Holy Board is next on the docket for a build list for me. So there's a lot of options out there. So figuring out cost and benefits, like the Temple Audio board has got so many accessories. You can do ports on the side, XLRs, 1/4 inches in and outs. Like, it's so cool what this board can be capable of in the long run. They even make LED kits for it. That's freaking sweet. That'll get into number 5, yo. Do you need some $1,000 custom-made board that lifts up in the middle so you can have all your pedals underneath? No, you probably don't. You might want it, but you probably don't need it. All right, so fourth thing is size and weight constraints. You know, can you bring a 50, 60-pound pedal board with you everywhere, in a case or without a case? By the time you add, say, a hard case to that, it makes that pedal board 70 pounds, maybe 75. Are you going to fly with that? Are you going to gig around with that every time? Young bucks, dude, go for it. Freaking haul a heavy board around, just like a bunch of 810 amp peg cabs, okay? Have 2 810 amp peg cabs and 4 80-pound pedal boards. you'll be set, bro. It'll be sick on stage. Size and weight. Like, do you want to carry around a super heavy board? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want just a little processor that's this big because I don't want to take all that crap with me. I can throw it in my backpack, grab a guitar, and go. But sometimes I want all the cool little knobs and foot switches and pedals in front of me. Are you going to build a board that you're never going to take anywhere? If it sits in a studio, who cares? But just use a rack for that. Don't need to have it on a board. It's fine. Use a switcher like this right here. And use a rack. Who cares? It's not a big deal. 5, the last thing that you got to think about. Does that shit look cool? Does it look cool? Because it should look cool. If you're going to put all this time, love, and energy into it, like, it should look freaking cool. It should look awesome. It should catch people's eyes and be like, yo, these guys mean business. And even if they don't know that, the gear junkies in the crowd are going to pay attention to your band because you put the time, care, and effort into. I have followed many bands just because the gear I got to sell them, because I knew it was good. And if you're buying that kind of gear, you understand a lot more than the average guitar player or the average musician. So whether you're a bass player, guitar player, doesn't matter. If you use pedals and you go for certain specific things, everybody knows that super boutique-y stuff out there. I'm gonna pay attention to you. And yeah, I followed many really cool bands on what pedals they chose and what their rig was like. Upsall is a perfect example. Met her a couple years back on a different tour, and super cool. She knew gear. I was crazy impressed with just the 30 seconds to a minute and a half, like lead-in conversations, like, oh, you know exactly what you're talking about. That's cool. And then I'm just like, all right, a little bit more of the conversation. And then I was able to look up YouTube and I was like, oh, you are crushing it. Like, hell yeah, super nice. You make cool music and you know gear. Instant fan. There's my 5 things to help you pick the right freaking board. Does your board look like this? Does it look like this? Does it look like this? Does it look like this? Is it like this right here? You know, we got you. We got you around here. So if you have any questions, throw them down in the comments. You know, if you like this video, dude, like it. If you think your buddies could get some good information out of this, you know, freaking share it along. Like, let's help people be better. You know, rising tides, man. If everybody had killer freaking guitar tone and you sound guys didn't have to worry about freaking running for a gate or dropping a fader down because they go to a solo and they don't know how to use their pedals, dude, the better time all of the crowd, all of your fans, your future fans will be. You're not going to have like feedback issues. You're not going to have a sound guy that's going to be mad at you and just not care because your tone sucks. Like, care about it. Like, this is your craft. This is what you want to do. So spend some time on that. Choose the right freaking pedal board. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, give it out. Peace.